It's Notts' second game in 3 days, and we really must bounce back from that poor defeat at Aldershot on Saturday with a win here. We can secure a playoff place as well with a win, and if other results go our way, but we must do our bit first. There's 3 games to go. There's very little room for error anymore. Come on Notts, come on you pies. Let's do this. I never thought I'd see the day, but Joel Taylor is back in the starting 11. He actually exists. We've found him. He hasn't started since Grimsby at home. There's also, along with Joel Taylor, 7 other changes. That starting 11 at Aldershot, decimated. Slocum's back in, Richardson's in, kind of have to be because Kelly Evans is suspended. Lacey's in as well. Arter's back in, so is O'Brien, so is Wootton, so is Sam. I think only Rodriguez, Rollo and Palmer are the only ones to survive from that Aldershot debacle. Really have to, got to be from the get-go, the intensity's got to be 100% and don't stop. The ruthlessness that we always talk about has got to be there as well. Our intensity has got to be on it from the get-go. No letting up, because against Weymouth we went 2-0 up and stopped. None of that today. We need to be on it. It's how our left back there played it forward. Yeah.
It turned on a gate side away.
It's good, isn't it? That, yeah. I think that could become revolutionary. A left back playing it forward. Nice, 3 minutes of solid on the way to start being chanted. Jim O'Brien with a ball that could split a continent in half to Jaden Richardson. But it was a really nice crossing for Ruben Rodriguez for his 18th of the season. Keep going now, Notts. We've got the breakthrough. Keep on going. The intensity so far hasn't been great, but that ball from O'Brien was just unreal. Of all players to open up a tin of beans, I didn't think it'd be Jim O'Brien. Jim O'Brien there, a really good opportunity, skied over the ball, should have scored. Go on. Eli! Oh, unlucky. Eli there as well, now it's good save by the keeper. He narrowed the angle, but we got the intensity from earlier, which is really important. I can't remember who it was, it might have been Ruben, I think. He squared it to O'Brien and O'Brien just hammered it over the bar. We've got players making some good runs, but we're not picking them out. It's really frustrating. I mean, O'Brien, Sam, they're all making good runs off the ball. That's got to be a great.
We've had 3 or 4 absolute clear-cut chances. We should be 3 up. We should be 4. They've had 3 attempts on goal that none of them have threatened Slocum. But we're not clinical. We're just not clinical, and it's going to cost us this season.
Come on, please. Black and white on me. Yeah, start the second half, nothing really much has happened so far. We've gone back to our normal slow intensity. Things aren't coming off. When someone is making them, we're not giving it to them. It's just been a bit lethargic. It's what me mentality. Come on. And I just don't think we have it. Good ball.
6.
That just sums up our game. That really does just sum up our game. How we not scored that first time anyway, I don't know.
Very quickly today, we were running the clock down for a home game against Dover. Just let that sink in.
The intensity was not as good as it should have been. We just lack leaders. There's nobody shouting at them to get them going when we need it. When we need it, we're just devoid of leadership. It was a slight bit better than Aldershot, but then again, it couldn't have been any worse than Aldershot. We created chances today, and we should have had more, but it's got to be a lot better. It's got to be a lot better if we're to have even a chance in the playoffs. So I've had a little more time to think about today's performance, and yes, whilst it was poor, we did eventually break down at Dover, who defended. It is quite hard to break down a team who's sitting. And this is not a criticism of Dover. I'm not criticising it. It's just in football in general, it's difficult to defend against a team that are playing like a very, very low block. And we did create chances. We did. You can't say we didn't. We did, because Lacey had one in the first half, so did O'Brien. And we had another one in the first half as well. I can't remember from who. But we should have scored more than one. That's the thing. We definitely should have scored more than the one goal we had. It's just the intensity was very poor from Notts today. We weren't sharp enough. My issue is when it gets like this, and it will be different in the playoffs, when it gets like this in the playoffs, there will be no leaders. There's no leadership out there. There's no one pulling others together and getting, this isn't good enough, demanding. There's nobody demanding, shouting that improvements need to be made. When it gets to them playoff games, it's going to turn up a notch. And you have got to be on it 100% of the time. And if you yourself don't believe you can go up, the fans don't believe either. O'Brien and Taylor both came into the squad for the game, and they both had really good games as well. Joel Taylor, he was really good today, putting some really, really good crosses. So for the strikers to attack, for the attackers to get on the end of, which, let's be honest, no one ever did. And Jim O'Brien brought plenty of industry, plenty of energy to the midfield. 3 points will do though, but we must improve our performances in the last two games and carry some sort of momentum. We've got to build up some momentum heading into the playoffs. 1 point to get in 2 games, and we must finish 5th. If you enjoyed the vlog, give it a like, comment down below your thoughts on the game. Stay subscribed if you're subscribed, subscribe if you're new. Be safe, be champions, and as always, toodaloosh.